it's hurt you. I'm gonna be honest with you. It made you feel like crap. Hola cariñitos, welcome to Soleil's Tarot with me, Isabel. In today's reading, we're asking your guides, are you at your turning point? Let's pull 3 cards to find out. Okay, first option is 10 of Pentacles. The Hierophant is your second option. And the 2 of Pentacles. I'll leave you with it for a couple of minutes and let's get to it. Hi, pile number 1. Here is your reading for today. We're asking, are you at your turning point? And let's find out how we're making out. We've got the 8 of Swords, the Page of Swords, the 10 of Swords, and wow, the 9 of Swords. Okay. The Magician, the 9 of Cups, and the 3 of Wands. Okay. So we're looking at yourself, the way you feel about yourself right now. You're looking at how your family, friends, and your connection to the world right now, that's where you want to be at. You want to be at that 10 of Pentacles, living happily ever after. It seems that you've been battling for a while a lot of things. Like you've been preparing yourself for the inevitable of whatever hardship you were going through in that previously, like the 9 of Swords and the 10 of Swords. It's something that you've been battling for quite some time. You've been assessing what's happened. You're trying to move out of that situation. You felt like you were very like you were struggling for a long time. You didn't even recognize yourself in that sense because you were hurt. You were very hurt. It could have been a relationship. It could be also, it could be family and friends. But I feel like this would either have to do with a relationship, somebody leaving in a sense, hurting you deeply, that you had to fight your way back. You that connection, the sorrow, the crying, the you felt like you had no other options, that you're always looking for that familiarity, that family, that connection con la familia. So we're looking at something that is been it hurt. It's hurt you. I'm gonna be honest with you. It made you feel like crap, and now all of a sudden you're kind of fighting your way through. You're like battling it out. You're just like, no, I've had enough. This is the turning point for you. This is where you're saying, I'm okay. I've had enough of crying, of feeling lonely, of needing to walk away from this. This is almost something that's happened within the last, not even that, I think like maybe a year or two. Like, I don't think that this was something that happened just recently, just yesterday, that you felt like this about somebody. And it could be also a not just a turning point, but it could also be somebody that you've been continuing on and on and on to go to, like an ex, or somebody that, you felt like you had, they were constraining you, controlling you, even maybe you were the one controlling them, for all I know. But it seems like something that it hurt very deeply, and that you were fighting for, or against, either or, like you were fighting for or against, because you felt stuck in a sense. You felt like you were restrained. You didn't know who you were anymore. It just, there's so many changes that needed to happen. There's so much hurt that needed to be exploited in order for you to realize what you actually want. And this is where I kind of feel like the negativity is starting to weigh off, and the hurt, the emotions, the unsettled connection is finally moving forward to what you actually want. You're looking at a 10 of Pentacles that says, I want it all. I want, I want the family. I want the friends. I want, this connection. Maybe it was also that this person that you were with, or this person that made you feel like crap, was somebody that took you away from all these people, took you away from your family, took you away from your friends. You've maybe felt so restrained that you couldn't see these people. You couldn't even be yourself anymore. Might have been somebody that was a narcissist, that wanted you indirectly to suffer, because they wanted you to be just with him. And you felt those battles. You're like, I'm ready for them. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to say no to this. This is screwed up, and it's screwed my life enough. Then we see a little bit of clarity. We see how dark this situation is, and we see clarity that is moving forward. We're seeing the turning point where you're like, I'm chill, man. Like, I can do all this stuff by myself. I really don't need nobody at the moment. Like, this bubble bath right here is telling me, like, I can be independent. I don't need somebody to take care of me. I have everything under control. The Magician's like, you can do anything, girl. You can do whatever you want. Like, she's like, I'm putting on my face. I'm getting ready. I'm going out there, and I'm doing my stride. And obviously with the with the 3 of Wands, you can see that she's actually surrounded by flowers, and she's very calm and collective. Okay, so again, with the bubble bath, with the 3 of Wands, it's giving me the impression that this person, this new turnaround of who you are, is somebody that's calm, peaceful, collected. And that doesn't need actually anybody in their life currently to tell them what to do. So yes, we're looking for family and friends. But we're not looking for this narcissistic crap that's happening on this side. And let me tell you something. I feel like this is where your turning point is going to go. It's going to be leaving all that's not serving you, okay, and manifesting. And I'm saying manifesting because I believe that you're currently, and there's such a split between them too, that I feel like you're currently in this line right in here, and that you're moving towards this line, towards the new and improved you. But it's going to also take some time. It's going to take effort on your part too. It's not just going to happen overnight. I feel like the sorrow is and the feeling of hurt and depression and whatever else was going on, I feel like this is where you're saying enough. And this is where this turning point is going into that new direction. I'm going to pull a little bit more because I want to see what happens after this turning point. What are we expecting to achieve once you have this calm and collective self, and see where are we going with this? We've got the Judgment card, the Lovers, the High Priestess, and I'm going to pull one more out of here. Let's see. And this 3 of Swords. Okay, so even though you're still finding out who you are and what you're doing, on this half of your life. I also see that the Judgment and the Lover's card, as well as the Three of Swords, this is things that you're still working on. The Three of Swords tells me, you're working on this, you're going to be leaving this behind. Just because you had that heartache, you're still wondering, is this really going to happen again? And this is where I'm saying, this is where that effective turning point will lead you, is into that questioning, obviously, of, is this going to happen to me again? But there is so much more potential with your new relationship moving forward. You are going to find somebody that's going to be knocking you off your feet. Yes. And I'm not just saying this just because. I'm saying this because the Lovers and the Judgment, you're going to be, diving into your own music. You're going to be just feeling like this is your time to shine. This person that's going to be coming in is going to be a strong person that's very connected to you, very entwined with your feelings and emotions. And even the cats, if you can see that here, let me pull this up. You can see that even the kitties here are very in tuned and in so much love and excited for their new beginnings. The Judgment, let me see if I can pick this up because my nails sometimes get in the way. So the Judgment, you can see how she is just, like, I guess, with the flute, doing her own music, going at her own pace. Once you get to this point, this turning, almost like, I want to say turning tables. Was that song with Turning Pavement, I guess it was, with the singer. Gosh, if it comes back to me, I will. But just the turning of things, the switching from one hurt relationship that's hurt you so bad into finding your own self and getting that the connection with yourself first, is going to allow you to find that new relationship in your life, that new love connection that's coming in very strong, even though you still feel hurt, emotionally hurt. But the High Priestess is saying, you know what, you can do all this. You're very strong, and this here will have nothing to do with once you have moved on to this new person. This will be like almost like gone. Yes, you'll feel like you want to protect yourself a little bit because it's going to be something new. You're going to be a little bit afraid of, your, I guess the way the relationship will work. If, are you going to go into this again? Is there going to be, and obviously you're going to have those questions, and it's going to, I don't think it's going to impact your relationship, your new one, obviously, but I think it's just something that you're going to have to be thinking mentally in order to turn things around. So overall, I'm going to say, from whatever experience you've had with this person, whatever battles you've been fighting or are fighting currently, this will be moving on into something that is going to be completely drastic. You're going to find yourself again. You're going to take care of yourself. You're going to, be wise about what you're doing. You're going to enjoy, putting on that makeup, feeling good about yourself again, going out into the world, feeling protected, in a sense, not just from anybody else, but having that time to find out who you are. And this little angel is just so beautiful. I just love this card anyways. But just the beautiful person that is calm, collective, and is waiting for nobody. It's just sitting there on a tree, just looking down, reflecting, even though she knows that she's got she's got her back. Like, people got her back. She just got to be with herself and enjoy that moment with herself. Just like the bubble bath. I mean, what kind of other best? And I mean, the cake and, or the cupcake and everything else. For me, let me tell you something. Cupcakes are always number one. And if I can have a bath and a cupcake, by all means. So overall, I'm going to say that your turning point is going to be somewhere along the way here. Somewhere where you're saying enough is enough. And I could probably say, and this is not putting a number in there because obviously everybody goes at their own pace. But if you're already almost in that respect, that you're feeling like, hey, you want to be more with family, you want to be attentive to what's going on in other people's lives, and you're not getting that from this relationship, you feel like you're disconnected, you're feeling like this person here is really putting, is a narcissistic trait, really not letting you have your family around and whatever, and you need to get that sense of enclosed, distressed, and walk away from the situation. Yes, I would say absolutely go for it, because once you let that go, this is where you're finding yourself again, and this is where you want to be at. You want to be finding yourself again, and you want to be moving on into your new relationship. Anyways, hopefully this makes sense to you. I'd like to thank you so much for sticking around. Hope this reading resonates with you. Please join me on my next reading for more info. Also check the description box below. And if you do like this and you wish to give me a thumbs up, or, whatever the drill is, we'll see you next time. Hasta luego. Welcome, pile number 2. Here is your reading for today. We've got the 6 of Rods, the 3 of Cups, the 5 of Cups, the 7 of Rods, which is Wands. We've got the 4 of Wands. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, the 9 of Wands, the 6 of Wands. Wow, there's so many wands here. Okay, let's see what's going on here. And we've got the 5 of Cups. Okay. So we're looking at your turning point. Sorry, I had to pause this for a quick second, but back up and running. Okay, so we've got the Hierophant, which represents you. You're very lovely, very true to yourself. I believe that there's just nothing that really can put you down. However, even though I find that you're always celebrating life and you're a very positive person, I feel like there was a turnaround somewhere in, and this, could be potentially with work related, with people at that you thought that would have your back, or something like that had your back, and that you felt like you had to fight for your right to be there. That even though this you thought that everything was going to be going woo, like fantastic, that, this job was going to be everything, or this, I do find this job related for whatever reason, but you know what? Don't quote me on that, because it could be also something else related into your life, like family or friends or love, a lover per se. But to me, this is relatable as an argument or something. You either got a new position, new job, that you thought it was going to be like ultimum fantastic, like amazing. And when you got there, people didn't know what to do with your loving, attitude, and they didn't know what to do with that stillness, and you're so comfortable in your own skin that people felt threatened by it. So therefore there was a lot of feuds. There was people putting you down. I see this with the 5 of Cups here, and then we've got the 5 of Cups here. So there's a lot of relation to this, like with the 5 of Cups, the 6 of Wands. So it's almost like you went in and you felt very uncomfortable. You this turnaround that needs to happen will happen, of you finally getting out of this situation. But looking at this closely, you went with the attempt that this was going to be the job or the experience of a lifetime, and it turned out that people did not understand quite who you are and what you represent, and they feel threatened by you. They feel threatened that you are able to do so much more than they can, and it feels like you have the Queen of Pentacles saying, or looking at you with that, like, are you really better than me? Is this, are you going to be stealing from me? Like, I feel very wise. Somebody like either a manager or somebody that's very, like, if you're going to be moving up in a position very quickly, that person's been sitting there for quite some time, and like you're irking them for some particular reason. They're like, this is my cup, this is my ice cream, why are you coming around and kind of trying to steal my thunder? It's same as here, right? Like, if you're looking at the 9 of Wands here with the salamander, I guess, no, what is it? A gecko, that kind of goes in and hides itself in the color, but still looking like at you while you're doing something. It's also a representation of somebody keeping an eye on you as you are moving up the ladder, as you're moving into their space per se. Again, with the 4 of Wands too, is one of those things that, you're still kind of, you're trying to hold on to this position. You're trying to hold on to this la la land that you have, that you thought of a work environment or a certain space in moments that you thought it was going to be amazing, and you're taking it I would say by the horn, but obviously it's taking it by its collar and running with it, right? So you don't want to lose this. You don't want to lose the opportunity, but you feel kind of like things need to move. Things need to be turning around. And it will, because obviously the celebration keeps on going. The thing is that not to get too tied up in the drama, but also don't feel like you're better than other people. It's almost like even though the 6 of Wands is a great card to have in your readings, but sometimes it can also express that you are being too drastic, or you're thinking you're just cat's meow, and since you already have this upscale before other people, and that you feel comfortable in your own skin, can also be sort of a negative thing for others, because they don't understand if you're coming in good nature, or if you're just going to steal people's jobs and move up and leave everybody behind and make them feel less than. So I think that that's where a lot of this stuff happens in the work environment, because of that reason, right? Because you're feeling extremely confident who you are. You're feeling like this job should be like way more than what you had expected. And people are just not giving you that, I guess they're just all over you, like to the point that you're just like feeling super sad and where you're like, what do I do next? Like, where am I moving on from here? And we're looking at the turning point here. Is this your turning point? Is this going to be manifesting into something different, or are you going to be stuck here and people are just going to not have your back and looking at you from the distance and constantly, trying to see if they can catch you doing something bad or catch you doing something wrong so that they can discriminate you and make you lose your job. So let's see what else we've got going on here, because my suspicion is that after everything is said and done, somebody in that job is going to leave. Let's see. Look at that. The 6 of Wands again. Wow. Okay. And we've got the Tower. That's what you know what? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. The Empress. Okay. And the 3 of Wands. Okay. This is what I was thinking. This is going to have to collapse. This has to go somewhere. Like, it's not going to stay like this, because somewhere down the line you're going to speak up or somebody's going to speak up, and then the whole tower is just going to collapse. Okay, it's going to be like, wait a minute, like, what's going on here? Where is this misdirection, misguidance? Like, what happened? Why is there so much animosity here? And then the 6 of Wands, like, seriously, like 6 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 6 of... So this is like you're going to be moving up, and you're going to be celebrating this. You're going to be the one that is going to be like, yo, I got this. I finished. I'm this person left. And this is exactly what I was thinking, that this person's going to be moving on. They're going to be moving on into a new direction, maybe into a new position, something else. Whoever doesn't have your back is going to be gone, or you're going to be moving on up. And then with the Empress, I see that there's going to be not just changes, but I do believe that is going to be a welcoming change to that status. Don't get cocky, but stay true to that Hierophant character that you have. Be that, like, that self that is confident, that doesn't react in very much in confrontation, and you will be rewarded for that with the 6 of Wands by people, especially that will have your back at work. This person, again, I feel like either if it's either 1 or 2 people, but I do feel like that's something that is happening with at least 1 other person that is, challenging you for not, what? I don't even think that is something that you directly, once they're gone, you will be like almost like freed. You're going to be excited. So this is your turn. Like, when we're saying, where is that turnaround from this? We're looking at somewhere around here, where that, I almost feel like I keep on hearing like 2-3 months, 2-3 months, 2-3 months. I feel like somebody in that person that was either getting you into trouble or trying to anyways, will be either moving on, or that the transition, the turnaround for you, the turning point will be within 2 to 3 months. You see the Tower, which I guess looking back and saying, yeah, you see that, but I did that. So you doing it, you speaking up your truth. I feel like you're like, at one point you were like, yeah, whatever, it is what it is. It is what it is. And because you have such a passive attitude and such a graceful attitude, you didn't try to get that person in any sort of trouble, or you tried, to keep the peace. That's why, like I said, there's, but this person felt so jealous in a way that you had everything going for you, that you were taking it you're taking it by storm, that they always had to keep an eye on you, looking at a different direction consistently, and you feeling like you need it with the Five of Cups here and here, that they wanted to make you really upset. They wanted to make you feel hurt. And the thing is that it potentially did do that for you at one point or another, because all of a sudden you weren't seeing clearly. You weren't seeing what the future would uphold for you. You were getting stuck in this mindset. It's there's a Spanish song. It's called Amigos para siempre, and that means friends forever. I feel like you're one of those people that wants friends for forever, even including in the workplace and stuff. And you're always like, yo, what's up, yo? Like you're really, really comfortable, whether as other people could think that you are too overpowering or wanting to take the lead consistently, that friendship, unity, turn into more of a situation. I guess that's what I would say, into that point that people were jealous. Jealousy is a really stupid, crazy thing to have, and it actually minimizes productivity. And this is where I think that's when you came in and said, listen, this could be a sales position where there's a lot of confrontation, in the sense that about sales and who does what and how much money you make. So it could be like a sales position. It could be something to do with marketing. It could be something like relatively something that would involve commission base. That's kind of how I feel like it is. But you looking back and saying, hey, I got this, I'm the one that did this, okay, was the new era for you. It was something you didn't want to let go. You don't want to let go of this job. So you're saying, voila, you can leave. I'm staying. I'm good at my job. I'm not going to leave. And all of a sudden, everything just kind of goes poof, like magic. You know what I mean? And then now you're just like, you turn the table, you turn it upside down. You got to where you want to be. And I think with that being said, even though it seems like a tough time, but within 2 to 3 months, that is what I'm hearing. I mean, it could be longer or whichever for whoever is not in this position yet, and depends on obviously in which area you're in here, how long your job has been. Could be also that, you just started your job 2 to 3 months and you're still kind of going through this transitional period where it might lead to that or not. And it was funny because I just seen like almost like a bus passing by. So I feel like it's like, the song, the wheels of the bus go round and round. That is kind of how I feel like this is, right? It's just like, oh, well, another one leaves, another one comes. The wheels keep on going around. So like, this is no news to whoever is doing or leaving or, the job itself. I think that a lot of people come and go in this job, but I feel like this is a successful job for you and that you're going to be wanting to maintain that because that's your objective. Your objective is to reach high potential and to feel successful. And that's exactly what you're doing here with all the sixes of wands, is trying to, celebrate that, what you've overcome, what you're overcoming, and celebrating that position with, lots of clarity, and just keep on doing what you're doing. Be yourself. And I think that that's the goal here, is for you to be yourself. So thank you so much for joining me and sticking around today. Hope this reading resonates with you. Please join me on my next reading. Also, if you do happen to like it, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. That would be greatly appreciated. I want to say welcome, pile number 3. Thank you so much for joining me today. The Two of Pentacles is your card you chose. And let's see what we've got going on here. We've got the Ace of Cups. Okay, you know what? We're going to add her right in here. We've got the Two of Cups. Okay. The Eight of Cups. The Hangman. And the Death card. The Queen of Swords, or sorry, the King of Swords, sorry. We've got the Lovers and the Emperor. Wow, what a reading already. Okay, so we're looking at your turning point. And I'm making this one a little bit different because for whatever reason, this is the way it struck me today for this one. So we're looking at you who is a balanced person, somebody that is looking for an endless opportunity to be good. So with that being said, I think that you look at both existing parts of yourself, and then the conflicting one versus the good one, kind of like outweighing yourself in a sense. And you do that also with everything that involves around your emotions, especially emotions. These are, to me, emotional situation. So it has to do with the way you deal with things. So we're looking at what is the turning point for you. Where is this turning point, if there's any, to be honest with you? Because some people might and some people don't, okay? Is there really a turning point? Is it okay to be where you're at? Is it okay to, feel the way you do? But let me tell you something. This is what I see here, okay? Because you're always trying to be balanced. As well as with the Two of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, there's always that balance and connection that you're feeling. You're sometimes afraid of moving on with the Eight of Cups. So what I'm saying is, and you're afraid, is that either you're contemplating somebody else and having this good, fantastic life, and you compare yourself to them, and then afterwards, you kind of only take whatever is given to you instead of looking for the big picture. Okay? It is time for you to actually act. This is not about you being in love and this and that. No, this is about you taking the rein and saying, you know what? I'm not going to go and move around and make people happy and try to find that balance in things. You need to take that step, that extra step, that motivational step, okay, and move on into new beginnings. But you see how this water is flowing here, and she's kind of like taking on way too much. Sometimes what happens with you is that you actually go, and as you're trying to be balanced, sometimes you just take too much on one side and the other. So while you're still trying to look for new beginnings, I'm going to say new ventures, new opportunities out there, you're actually taking a little too much. And then what's happening is that you become overwhelmed. And then again, you're kind of going into a very slow moving direction. You see her face and expression like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take what I can here, and then I'm just going to move on. And they're happy, but I'm just going to step out of it, right? So this here tells me that, you are trying to deal with a lot. It could be new opportunities. It could also be, and I see the Lovers card here and the Two of Cups, that can also be challenges in the relationship, that you're trying to balance everything, but your cup is just a little too overfilled. You feel like that you need to have a new beginning, either with this person or not. With the Death card, obviously, and the Hangman, this is something that, that is beyond just a thought. This is something that needs to be challenged in a sense that, is this really where you need to be at. You need to change the attitude that you're in. You need to, instead of trying to think that, you have to be at this level and then you have to be up here for something else, is that opportunity of changing the way you see things. Don't feel like you're stuck a lot of the times, and gaining that with a death card, gaining that new opportunity of letting something that doesn't serve you go and start something else. I feel like it's either, and again, we're looking also at the king of that is reflecting, it's is reflecting on what needs to be done, feeling strong, connected, even with the emperor again. And I really enjoy this because it's like a moving forward kind of situation. Okay, we got to step it up. It's such a funny card, but I do appreciate it because I feel like with the little horsey and everything else, and it's kind of like, giddy up, let's go, and the representation of the lovers here is not only about loving others, but loving yourself. So it could also be that you're not taking that balance. It could be insecurities. It could be, you're taking up way too much, in that sense, that where is this going to be turning around for you? Are you going to be feeling stuck? Are you going to be able to change directions? Is the thoughts of changing habits? It could also be somebody that is not taking that initiative consistently in let's say you're writing a book, okay? And you start off like really, really strong. It's like, oh my God, I got this. And you're writing all this stuff down. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, like a couple of days later passes and you're like, well, I'll just do a little bit tomorrow. And then the next day is like, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. I'll just, I'll do it tomorrow. And then all of a sudden it becomes a tomorrow ordeal. And then all of a sudden now you feel overwhelmed. Your cup is full again because you're feeling like, oh my God, I should have done this. I should have started this. I should have finished this, and so forth. And now you've put on not just a book, you've put on your house, you've put on, and then it just keeps on going. So I feel like there's a turning point here where you need to start looking at your own perspective and the way that you're dealing with things in order to change what is like going, and I wouldn't even say wrong, that what is you're taking on too much, and you need to take that step back and say, what can I remove from what I need in my life right now? How can I make even my own self-love or relationship work if I'm taking on all these other projects? So this is what I feel like. You're like, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Like you're always constantly go, go, go. That you're not taking that time to reflect and see, what's going on, taking that opportunity to enjoy that time you have. So let's see what we need to turn around to that point that you are going to be happier and not taking on too much. But when you say, oh, but Isabel, of course I have to take so much because I have kids, I have a house, I have this, I have a job, I have this, I have to keep my marriage, I have a new relationship, whatever it is. But in a sense, can you really do it all? And if you can, kudos to you. But somewhere down the line, you're going to have to say, what can I stop doing for now? What can I change that's affecting my life and putting way too much that I'm like, go, go, go. Maybe perhaps you got, children that do 10 activities instead of just doing 2. You've got them in soccer, you've got them in ballet, you got them in whatever. And then all of a sudden your life is just consistently doing that you love them, you want to do lots of stuff for them, but again, now you're kind of depleting yourself into so much, and those new beginnings just keep on just adding and adding. So let's see what we've got here. We've got the King of Cups, the Four of Cups, the Five of Wands, and the Fool. Okay, see, and this is where I was going with this, actually, because we look at the King of Cups saying, do you see how much stuff he's like juggling here? He's got the cups here, he's got the binocular, we've got even the cat trying to outsource food or whatever, catching things. Like, there's so much stuff going on in this card, right? That is actually even turning this point, if you cannot change the way you see things, again, you're not going to see the value with the Four of Cups of what you actually have. You know, there's going to be a lot of, like, you see this, like, you've got all these empty, and she's presenting you a brand new cup here and saying, okay, we'll take this one instead. And you're like, nah, you know what, I got all this going on here, and maybe I should figure out how this works instead of just taking that one over there. So this is what I'm talking about. This is where I'm saying with the Five of Wands, we're saying, you know what? It's way too much. You're overfilled capacity, even with other people. Like, everybody is just like, you know, it's like you're just taking on too much that it's making other people even second guess. This reminds me to me of my days in Spain when the chitter chatters were outside the front porch, and they knew everything about everybody, you know, and then they sat there in the front of the houses, and then they would chitter chatter about everybody that went in and out, almost like the Desperate Housewives, but more in a community sense. And they would just sit there and basically, I wouldn't say popcorn, but they would bring out their pipas, and then they would sit there and chitter chatter. So this is what's happening, right? People are like, okay, this is just not working for you. You need to take that step. The Fool card reminds you that you need to take that leap, even if it's hard to do, even though it's new grounds for you to change things in your life. But in order to have that turning point that you're going to be happy, you need to make sure that you instead of challenging yourself, remove some of that stuff that is challenging you, that is giving people grounds to not just worry, but to think that you're just taking on way too much, that they're having the time of their lives talking about you because of that sense that you're not releasing what doesn't serve you. Sometimes it could just be also, you know, like the soccer moms, you know, getting together and chitter chattering about, oh my God, I don't know how she does all this, because clearly she can't even take her kid and give them blah, blah, blah. She always forgets something, you know, or, you know, the people at work, oh my God, she always comes in late because she cannot, you know, be here on time, and blah, 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 blah. And then it affects not just you, it affects everybody else surrounding you. So again, think of what it is. I get the Two of Cups tells me, you know, that you still have a good support system. You've got somebody that loves you, that will take care of you in a sense, and you can actually communicate. You also have the Lover's card, and here represents a single woman, which also can be, even if you are single, it means that that confidence level, that love, self-love is here, that you actually are true to yourself, right? The only thing is you're juggling way too much. And then from juggling way too much, you have to remove something in order to make it work. And this is where your turning point will be, is with the Fool. This is the card that is going to be your turning point. All of this stuff will be suggestible. You will in time, you will move on into something that is going to be much more effective, even if it is a scheduling. I'm hearing scheduling. Schedule it in. If there's too much on that schedule, remove it, cross it off, redo something else. I don't know. But remove it from your existence if it's too much in your calendar. So again, if that's what the person that you are, that you have to have everything on calendar and keep everything according to a schedule, by all means, but just don't overpack your schedule, because it does not give you time for yourself, doesn't give you time for others that you are wanting to spend time with, and eventually just can create chaos. It can create you being feeling down and depressed and overwhelmed by a lot of stuff, a lot of knickknacks, a lot of movement without anywhere really to go. But just putting on a way too much stress, girl. Way too much stress. So, with that being said, hope this reading resonates with you. Please join me on my next reading. And if you have time, read the description below for additional information. And obviously, if you like it, subscribe, click, do whatever you gotta do. Happy to hear back from you. We'll see you next time. Hasta luego.